Yeah, we're just all laughing. We got my son in the background making us laugh. We're probably gonna do a review tomorrow of the new Obi-Wan on Disney Plus. But I came to talk about Married at First Sight, Decision Day, and I watched parts 1 and 2. But I was surprised that all the couples made it except for Alyssa and Chris, because of course I can't remember if she left the show or got kicked off. But you guys know how abusive she was to Chris. But all the couples made it through, which was surprising because last season none of the couples made it through. But what's weird is two of the couples that I didn't think would make it didn't actually stay together. So I was kind of right about Michael and Jasmina and Lindsay and Mark. Lindsay turned real abusive, talking about what was she saying about Mark? Like she usually dates smart guys, or
Yeah, and just other things about like just about his personality that were like negative, and
yeah.
and then she ended up like the cast ended up telling her that she should apologize just because of how bad it looked.
Yeah, Elijah Wan was saying, like, I'm telling you as a friend, like, you look bad right now. Like, apologize. He treated you good. But she likes, even Dr. Viviana was telling her that she needs to, like, she keeps taking jabs at him, and she act like she didn't know what he was talking. She didn't know what she was talking about. But she's been taking shots at him pretty much the whole season, and I guess he just had enough. I mean, he broke down and cried. For a man to break down and cry on TV, this is 2 seasons in a row where a man's cried on TV. Last season it was Gil, and this season it's Mark. So looks like the roles are shifting. Like the women are getting hard and the men are getting a little soft.
Yeah, I would say so.
But what did you think about Michael and Jasmina? Like, did you think that I mean, they seem to just fight over little things, and it seemed like it could have been worked out. I think he said he's dating somebody new now, but she's not. But didn't it seem like they could kind of work it out? Like their fights weren't really.
Yeah, and I think I forgot who, like, which therapist said it, but they said that they were both basically fighting about how the other person cared about the situation. So I think there was still feelings there, but they couldn't communicate correctly. And I feel like there's honestly something still there, but there's probably a lot of walls Jasmina has that wasn't really like explored in the whole arc.
Yeah, I remember Jasmina told one of her relatives or friends that I'm going to clean it up, that she wasn't getting excited over her husband, and they treated it more like a friendship. Yet they're on the show. I always say you're on Married at First Sight, so obviously you want to get married. So why get on the show and then act like you want a pen pal? So I mean, I think he's moved on, and he seems kind of even tempered. She seems kind of mellow, but she seems like it's her way or no way, and I just don't understand that. Oh, that bitch is annoying. But
Yeah.
I was right though about Elijah Wan and Katina. They actually made it. He was talking kind of crazy to her earlier in the season about her not being able to cook too well. But Jasmina said I talk to him all the time. She's like, dude, you can't cook either.
Yeah, they seem like the more lively couple out of everybody, but like
Yeah,
in a positive way. Like they really complemented each other well.
yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna make it. Of course, Noy and Steve, I think they're going to make it. I don't know what's up with his job situation, but apparently he has enough money stored in savings to support the family and, do what they do. But I think it's going to be hard for Lindsay, Lindsay and Mark. I think it's going to be hard for her to find somebody because she's real. Once you offend her, she starts like really attacking. Like she was really trying to hurt him, like talking about his roach infested apartment on one of the shows and living with his mama. She just tries to hit below the belt, and any guy that sees the show is gonna say red flag, when they see her do that.
Yeah, I feel like she probably needs to go to anger management because Mark seemed like he would have been good for her because he's a little bit more empathetic and understanding, but
Yeah.
you can't really deal with that much abuse if somebody can't see their side of it. So it has to be like a two-way street. And I don't think that she necessarily saw anything wrong with how she acted. So
Yeah. I don't think she saw anything wrong with it. Like there was a point where didn't Mark say she spit on him or something, and didn't she deny it at first?
That basically she like spit on his shirt but didn't really spit on him, and then she just contradicted herself a lot, which also made her look bad on top of her not really like. Didn't she also laughed while he was crying too.
Wow, she laughed.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
that that's what happened. Like she said it wasn't genuine.
So she was laughing at him, huh?
Yeah, she said something along the lines of it wasn't really sincere, so that's how. Yeah, everything about what she had to say from what I remember just like I try to be understanding whenever it's something like that cuz there's cameras and you never know which narrative is the most reliable, but it looks so bad that I can't really see her side at all.
I mean, even her dad, I think he warned Mark that she's got quite a mouth on her. So, if that's coming from her parents, I mean, I guess Mark didn't really stand a chance, and he's real mellow, so they were just a bad match. I mean, her and Alyssa were getting into it earlier, the one that quit the show that was talking about. I'm jumping around now. I'm going to Alyssa and Chris, how the matchmakers were reading off the checklist that they hooked her up with the guy. The description fit everything that she wanted, yet when she got the guy, she didn't like him and she was abusive. I mean, she was offended how the dude was swinging his arms. Like, look how he's swinging his arms. Like, it's aggressive. Like, dude, he's out there on a tennis court. What's he supposed to do? But,
Yeah.
and she had to keep reminding everybody, I'm a good person. And I noticed another trick she does whenever, like, one of the doctors put her on the spot, she starts crying to kind of make them ease up off of her. Like, okay, you're attacking. I'm going to cry, so you back up off me. It's a little deflection tactic. She thinks she's slick.
Yeah, it just came off as like extremely disingenuous and it really cringy at times. Like it was hard to really again see her point of view just as hard as it was to see Lindsay's because it
Yeah.
was like once you go into that whole victimization mentality, it's like you can only go so far with it without you looking like the crazy one in the relationship.
Yeah, like they had like a meet and greet or something the other week at the end of the decision day, and Chris said that he's moved on, which he should have done a long time ago. Everybody else was telling him, like you should like just move on. She's pretty much cruel, and you're not gonna win. But he tried his best to make it work because he was happy with how she looked, but her attitude was a bit funky. So I think he'll find somebody else. Years later, she may look back at this like, man, I lost a good dude. Maybe he wasn't physically her type, but he could have grown on her, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the person.
Yeah. Hopefully I feel like Mark and him both deserve, somebody who's gonna compliment them well without them needing to sacrifice
Yeah,
good parts of themselves.
right. Yeah, I mean, and what's so bad about it, I always say, like, you're doing it in front of the world, so you're kind of airing your dirty laundry. And, a lot of people say they made me look crazy on the show, how they edited the show, but still, you had to have done those things. Even if they edit it in a weird way, you still said what you said, even if it's kind of out of sequence. So, I don't know. It's going to be hard for, I think, Alyssa to bounce back. I think it'll be hard for Lindsay to bounce back because she's real opinionated, and her opinions come with a lot of insults and jabs. And Dr. Viviana, I think, wasn't she the one she got into it with when she told her? Didn't Lindsay say you keep interrupting me or something?
Yeah, it was something like that where, and that just also showed it's really not the cameras because if they can't carry themselves well in a conversation where it's just healthy questions and boundaries, you could just tell they don't respect any of those from other people.
Yeah. So this season was interesting. It kind of drained me for a while. I stopped even talking about it because I sure didn't expect all the couples to stay together, with the exception, I said, of Alyssa and Chris, but they surprised me with that. But then, like I said, on decision day, Michael and Jasmina didn't make it, and then Lindsay and Mark didn't make it. I kind of predicted they wouldn't make it. I think Mark would have been sorry had he stuck in there with her because she just seems kind of set in her ways. I don't know if she can be reached at this point.
Yeah, and that's kind of hard because I could see his point of view where it's so much time invested that you want to try to make things work, but if the other person isn't necessarily attached that same way or they're not open enough for it to work, it's just more heartbreak in the end.
Yeah, it's like you're just setting yourself up, and then you might look back and be like, "Man, I wasted all those years with someone that was cold and heartless." So I think I think he probably made the right decision in bouncing, and yeah, interesting season. Next season they're gonna be in San Diego, my hometown. I hope something's a little different this season. I hope they make some little tweaks to the show. Like I always said, instead of letting the so-called experts match the couples because they're not doing a very good job, they should let family members or friends hook them up. They know their personalities better than the experts.
Yeah, that would make more sense too, so that they're, and then that'd be an easier way for the arc to play out too, just so you can get to know the characters better and the people.
Yeah, and I think you get more compatible matches rather than them looking for, because we all kind of feel like they're kind of looking for ratings over quality marriages. They're looking for drama, but we'll watch a show with quality marriages. I mean, it's kind of rare to see that. We might want to see a couple get along instead of just all this bickering and pulling hair. If we want to see love and hip hop, we know how to turn to VH1 and watch it. Obviously, we want to see something a little different. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. I got the mystery woman here, and she's gonna give me subscribers and likes.
Oh, that's promising. Thank you.
She's my secret weapon. Anyway, thanks for watching. LSR forever. Be fearless.
Yay, yay.